4 African-American 18-year-olds who were holding this man, torturing him, and then you've got this special needs guy who is white. We've been wondering, it looks like a hate crime because, in addition, made him drink toilet water and all sorts of disgusting things. What do you make of what's going on here?
Well, look, I think that there has been a dramatic rise in racial tension under President Obama and under the former Attorney General. I think a lot of their language, a lot of their approach heightened that sense of racial tension. And I think we have to oppose white racism. We also have to oppose black racism. And I think if this had been done to an African American by 4 whites, every liberal in the country would be outraged, and there'd be no question but that it's a hate crime. So let's be clear about this. We are right at the edge of a terrible period, which I know President-elect Donald Trump wants to avoid, of having the deep, bitter division in the communities in a way that makes America very hard to govern. But look at Chicago. Yeah. There have been nearly 4,000 people shot in Chicago with no effective response from Governor Rahm Emanuel, no effective response from President Obama. And I think people feel that they're really alienated from their government and have no one to turn to, and you end up in this kind of a really destructive and I think frightening kind of development.
Yeah, and this is the apologetic police commander Kevin Duffin trying to justify or trying to make sense of this horrific act.
Downplay it almost.
Yeah,
right?
listen to this.
Do you think that this rises to the level of a hate crime?
We're still investigating it, and if we if the facts guide us to in that direction, then we'll certainly charge them appropriately.
Kids make stupid decisions. I shouldn't call them kids. They're legally adults, but they're young adults, and they make stupid decisions.
Okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
Look, can you imagine if 4 18-year-old white males had done that to an African American with disability, that you'd have the police going, oh gosh, we're not really sure what this is all about. Number one, they should come down like a ton of bricks on these 4 kids, because they need to send a signal to everybody else in the country, don't do this.
Right.
I mean, we need to communicate clearly. This is the kind of behavior, we don't care whether you're white or black,
right.
We don't care what your excuse is, we're not tolerating this kind of viciousness.
But you know, in the inauguration, Talladega College, their band wants to come, and they said yes, and there's huge backlash and pressure on the presidents not to go to the inauguration because it would send the wrong message for Donald Trump, who they have labeled a racist.
Right, and I think you have to understand that on the left, this is going to, this war, that's what it is, it's a constant fight. Now look at the TV commercial of the Hollywood celebrities saying obstruct, stop, right. Whatever. You know, nobody on the left, and this is why Senator Schumer is in such a box now, nobody on the left concedes that Donald Trump is the legitimate president of the United States. Nobody on the left is going to roll over and let the conservatives change the Supreme Court, change the health system, change the tax code. So this fight's going to go on every single day until they finally get worn out and defeated. But they're not defeated yet. This is the top of the first inning of the game.
Great point. I don't remember anything like this before Barack Obama was inaugurated 8 years ago. Meanwhile, Mr. Speaker, Donald Trump is up and he's tweeting already with some breaking news. He's talking about Obamacare. First up, the Democrats, led by head clown Chuck Schumer, know how bad Obamacare is and what a mess they are in. Instead of working to fix it, they do the typical political thing and blame. The fact is Obamacare was a lie from the beginning. Keep your doctor, keep your plan. It is time for Republicans and Democrats to get together and come up with a health care plan that works, really works, much better and is less expensive. Well, what do you make of the president-elect singling out head clown Chuck Schumer?
Well, I actually approach it a little bit differently. I'm doing a newsletter today that'll be on foxnews.com about Schumer as Senator No, because he's already said, you know, no Supreme Court nominee, no this, no that, no the next thing. And I think that's a terrible position for Chuck to be in. Schumer and Trump have known each other for many, many, many years. And I think that the president, frankly, just wants to shrink him. And I would say to Senator Schumer, if you look what happened to Jeb Bush, or you look what happened to Hillary Clinton, you should be very worried if Donald Trump decides to focus on you, because so far the track record is pretty good that he can define you a lot better than you can define him.
You know, Donald Trump's slogan was "Make America Great Again." Well, now the Democrats are saying, because he wants to repeal and replace Obamacare, now they're saying this about that. Here is Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi.
It would make America sick again and lead to chaos instead of affordable care. I see the president-elect was tweeting again this morning. He said Republicans shouldn't let the Schumer clowns out of his web. Well, I think Republicans should stop clowning around with the people's Medicare, Medicaid, and health care. Republicans in Congress are, again, like the dog who caught the bus.
If you're a senior, you know, Medicaid, almost half of Medicaid is about long-term health care. You want grandma living in the guest room? You repeal the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, a lot of us like our grandparents in the guest room, but we wouldn't have any problem with that.
If my grandmother were here, I'd gladly invite her to live in the guest room.
But see, they do have a plan, and it's a pushback, and it's led by the president. Newt?
Well, I thought you were about to show me the president again. Look, understand where they're coming from. First of all, what Nancy Pelosi just said is a lie. There's nothing the Republicans are going to do that's going to change long-term care under Medicare. There's nothing we're going to do except strengthen Medicaid by giving the governors more flexibility, more ability to manage it, more ability to make dollars work effectively. So this is a standard liberal Democratic lie. What's amazing to me is they have been losing ground consistently, starting with the election of 2010. They're now the weakest they've been in modern times as a party, and they can't learn a new script. I mean, they're coming back out with the same language, the same attitude. It's unbelievable.
But Donald Trump even cautions yesterday, because his tweets mean something. He says massive increase of Obamacare will take place this year, and Dems are to blame for this mess. It will fall of its own weight, but be careful. So he's saying to Republicans, don't make this Trump care, and don't allow them to label you, because he sees some peril, as other conservatives do, in how you repeal and how you replace. Do they have right to do this? Do they have right to worry about how it's done?
Absolutely. Look, you can't have 15 or 20 million people worried about whether or not they're going to lose their insurance. You can't have people who have cancer worried about whether or not they're going to get their next treatment. So the Republicans have to build a bridge from the disaster of Obamacare to a healthier, better system, and that bridge has to be clear to the average American. It can't just be clear to some theoretical policy wonk. It's got to really be step by step. Here's how you are going to be taken care of. And if they do that, I think they're going to be golden. They're going to be in great shape.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. 115th Congress now in session. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Have a happy New Year.
Take care. Thank you.